Okay, good evening, Professor Amalia. We hope you are doing well. So tonight we would like to present our assignment on design thinking case study, and we want to share our summary and findings regarding innovating language curriculum design through design thinking, a case study of a blended learning course at a Colombian university. But before we begin, allow me to introduce some people behind this summary and findings. Firstly, we have Alya Khanaya, then Fezih Alifia, then Zaki Fuadi, myself, and lastly, Mr. Fezih Alifia. Okay, now we are ready to convey our result. Next we will move to the first part.
Okay, thank you, Zach. Language and curriculum design, or LCD, can be a challenging task, but fortunately, there are a lot of LCD models that can provide guidelines that can be followed by teacher or a curriculum designer. There are many examples that curricula being designed, reformed, or implemented without consulting or involving the teacher. It's create a gap between what the curriculum intends to achieve and the reality of the teaching context. This study explores how integrating design thinking, a human-centered and transformation problem-solving approach into LCD can enhance it. Okay, next.
Okay, sorry. Okay, first then we move to literature review. In this part, we'll talk largely about design thinking and its definition. First, the design thinking itself is a human-centered approach to innovation and problem solving, and it aims to solve big problems which are complex and have no straightforward path to resolving them. Okay, next. The definition of design thinking in education and curriculum development. Okay, so in education, design thinking is commonly used as a pedagogical approach to promote constructivism in the classroom, and design thinking has also been invoked as a way to change certain social issues related to education. And design thinking in curriculum development has been proposed as a potential framework to enhance curriculum development. And Hubble report on the influence of design thinking in the creation of Harvard School of Engineering and Applied Science, in which a core group of collaborating professors focus on creating an innovative curriculum. And from Gottlieb, it has been detailed a step-by-step approach for design thinking to plan a new curriculum for medical students. Okay, so next. And then next is design thinking in language teaching. The language curriculum unit at Foreign Service Institute at the U.S. Department of State in Washington, D.C. Use design thinking to plan a new Spanish language curriculum. And design thinking in Latin America, it is more commonly seen in business, innovation, or entrepreneurial contexts. But Diaz Maggioli discussed using design thinking principle for online teacher education courses in Uruguay. Besides design thinking taught as a subject or within course at university and educational institution, there's little published research from Latin America related to its use in pedagogy. Next.
Okay, so next is research design. So regarding the research, to engage with the process of integrating design thinking and LCD, we use the Nation and McAllister curriculum design that highlights collaboration, creativity, and push the design team to innovate. And to make the most of the data collection phase, the design team that was conducted by 6 English tutors is assigned to develop further course iterations.
Okay, so next is the findings of the research itself. So the research is done through incorporating 5 stages of the design thinking stages, in which there are empathy, define, ideate, prototype, and testing. So in empathy, it is conducted in a research matter. So the designer want to put themselves in the stakeholders' shoe, and to do that, they've conducted several interviews and getting samples collected from students' article. The next stage is to define and ideate. So in define, the designers want to narrow it down into a key question that can help them tackle the big picture of the curriculum, in which it states that what type of course would fulfill the needs of the stakeholders by also evaluating its context. And after having that one particular key question, they will move on into the ideation stage, in which the designers will talk about several proposed solutions by visualizing it as well through diagrams. Next. So the last two stages are about prototyping and testing. In the testing and prototyping stage, the designers used rapid concept prototyping, in which they will implement the course, then test to rapidly get the teachers and students' feedback. And after they get the feedbacks, they will make necessary adjustments if needed. And as for the table on the bottom of the slide, it is represented of the feedbacks of the stakeholders. Next. So these are some benefits that design thinking contributed on the design of the curriculum, in which it mainly talks about how it's a collaborative process and people from different backgrounds can have their thoughts on the problem. Next. And lastly, here are some limitations that the designers found when doing this research. The first one is the lack of supporting methodology, and then limited information on the designer's thoughts, lack of formal training, and lastly, it is hard to replicate the procedure or outcome of the design process. Next.
Okay, so we have arrived to the conclusion, and to summarize all of the presentation, formal presentation, the incorporating design thinking, or DT, into curriculum design for ESP courses, especially in Latin America, has several advantages. The first one is that it helps to create innovative curricula in the absence of existing models, assist in evaluating best practices for online or blended courses, and addresses teacher turnover by fostering curriculum ownership. And additionally, the design thinking principles can improve language education policies by involving stakeholders, customizing implementation, and promoting innovation. Therefore, exploring the application of design thinking in Latin American educational reforms is essential for transformative language education.
Okay, and lastly, we have some valuable lesson from the story. The first is fast use of design thinking. So in this case, we just know that we can use design thinking in any kind of subject, whether it's a tangible product or intangible product like education and development curriculum. And impact of design thinking is transform our mindset, and also we have clear stepwise on how to create a lean product and how to create an impactful product for the customer itself or for the world. And lastly is do as a team, because every person have a unique background and experience, so it can convey a lot of new idea and rare idea, and it's more being valuable in step of creation of idea. Okay, maybe that's enough from me, and we have to say sorry if there's any mistake from us, and thank you for the time. Thank you.